No human is perfect. There once was a man named Henry, living in a bustling city. He was in his mid-30s, wealthy, well-educated, and admired by many. Henry believed he was perfect. His suits were always tailored, his words always polished, and his decisions, at least in his eyes, were flawless. Henry often looked down on others, thinking they lacked what he possessed: intelligence, charm, and discipline. Whenever someone pointed out a mistake, he dismissed it, saying, "It's not me, it's them." One day, while attending a business conference, Henry met an old professor named Mr. Watson. The professor was a humble, wise man known for his ability to inspire people to see life differently. During the event, Henry boasted about his accomplishments, subtly mocking others in the room. After listening for a while, Mr. Watson approached Henry with a calm smile. "You seem like a man of great success," Mr. Watson said. "Indeed, I am," Henry replied confidently. The professor asked, "Do you consider yourself perfect?" Henry smiled. "Why not? I have achieved everything I've ever wanted. I make no mistakes, and people respect me." Mr. Watson nodded. "Let me tell you a story." Curious, Henry agreed to listen. The professor began, "There was once a man who lived in a beautiful glass house. He took pride in its spotless walls and sparkling windows. But he spent so much time admiring his house from the inside that he never realized it was covered in dust and grime on the outside. People passing by would see the dirt and wonder why he didn't clean it, but the man never noticed because he was too focused on how perfect it looked from within." Henry frowned. "What does that have to do with me?" The professor smiled. "Sometimes, we are so focused on our own perception of perfection that we fail to see our flaws. True growth comes not from thinking we are perfect, but from acknowledging we are not." Henry felt challenged but didn't respond. Over the next few weeks, the professor's words lingered in Henry's mind. He started paying attention to the way he treated people and the feedback he received. Slowly, he began to notice things he had ignored before: how his arrogance made his colleagues resent him, how his family felt unappreciated, and how his perfectionism made him distant. One day, Henry decided to change. He apologized to a colleague he had belittled, spent time with his family without talking about work, and admitted a mistake during a meeting. To his surprise, instead of losing respect, people admired his honesty and vulnerability. Months later, Henry met Mr. Watson again. "I owe you a thank you," Henry said. "You were right. I wasn't perfect, and that's okay. Aiming for perfection isn't about being flawless, it's about constantly improving." Mr. Watson smiled warmly. "That's the true mark of wisdom, Henry, to see imperfection as an opportunity, not a weakness." From that day forward, Henry no longer saw himself as perfect. Instead, he saw himself as a work in progress, and for the first time in his life, he felt truly fulfilled. Moral of the story: perfection isn't about never making mistakes, it's about embracing them as stepping stones to growth. True greatness lies in humility and the courage to improve.